Okay. Once you go to the website, download the instruction and the artwork and resources. Open the artwork and resources. Open the Beta Apple folder. We will need to open this project template. Resize the document a little bit so that we can see the instructions here. Let's create the apple first, because we need this apple in both the button and the logo. So let's do the apple first. If you go to the first page, huh? Okay, sure. Okay, yes. So once you open your document, you can go to the first page. In this corner, there's an apple. You can also find this apple from Glyph. But find this apple and move it to the upper place we will need it. I will wait until you guys get this apple. You can also copy it from here if you want. Do you download it? I saw they fixed it already. But anybody need this? Or you found it already? And did you find yours? Yeah. So everybody read it, right? Rescale the apple a little bit, make it larger so that you can see it. Press shift, right. Make sure you press shift. Press shift. Okay, press shift and drag the corner, make the apple a little bit bigger. Why you need to press shift again? Because when you press shift, it will scale it proportionately. It will not distort it. So press shift, and then when the apple is selected, press Command C, copy it, and then press Command V. Paste it. And once you have two apples, now when one apple is still selected, click here, flip it. Just click here and flip it. Flip it to the other way and then move the apple. Make sure those two apples overlap with each other, like this. Okay. And then select both apple. How do you select both? Use your mouse, drag a rectangle. This way you select both. Once both apple is selected, go to Object, Pathfinder, Add. That way we make the two pieces into one apple. Okay, the next step we're going to do is that we're going to give a different color to the two parts of the apple. We're going to give a green color to the leaf. We're going to give a red gradient color to the apple. So we need to make sure those two parts are separated. How do we separate this leaf from the apple? Select it, go to Object, Path, Release Compound Path. You remember we used this technique before. Once you relieve it, see right now the color, the leaf is separated from the apple. Okay, select the leaf, go to swatch. There's a color for this leaf called
How did you do the leaf thing again?
this is the color for the leaf. So make sure you apply this color to the stroke rather than the fill. Active the fill. Make sure you apply the color to the fill rather than the stroke. Select the leaf, active the fill, and click this. Choose this color. Let me see your question. Release compound path. Go to Object, Path. Release compound path. Did you do it? Select both and make it a compound that has first. We edit, then release. Now the leaf will separate into colors. Right now it's separated by the stroke. After the feel, and I would appreciate if you can focus on it. You're good, you're good. Yes, good. Good. Thank you. You do. Okay. Did you give yourself? It's not black. It's not black. How do you see it? It's not that color. Select the leaf. Better to focus on this because if you miss one step, it take hours to get that step correctly. So now you can give the leaf a color of this green, and then select the apple. We're going to give it a color of that apple gradient. And now if you give it a color like this, it doesn't look like a apple, right? So go to here, click the gradients tool, and put your cursor here, and then click, drag. And that's how you use the gradient tool.
I don't have it on mine.
Once you are done, remember right now the leaf and the apple are still separated. So once you are done, select both, press Command G. Make it a whole graph. So I'm going to look at yours. Click and drag. You didn't use the red color.
No, I don't have anything.
Did you open the? Oh, it's here. Yes, group they just group leave and group it. Okay, now you have the apple ready. We are going to create another thing. We need to follow the instruction closely because it uses layers. And now if you look at the instruction here, the next step, it wants us to go to hold on, let me see. Yeah, we will be here. Let's go to the background circle layer. So open layer, go to background circle, and create a circle. Press Shift and Option. So let's choose this ellipse tool. Press Shift and Option and then drag. Here, remember, if you press Shift and drag, it will give you a perfect circle, right? But if you press Option, the circle will start from the middle. If you do not press Option, the circle will start from around, from the edge. But if you press Option, then it will start from the middle. So let's press Shift and the Option. See, the circle started from the middle. We don't need this color, so click this Apply None. Make sure that the circle has no color. And we also want to make sure that the stroke for this circle is 0.
When I click the apply gradient thing to make it apply none, it will.
Yes, in the fill part, click None. When the circle is selected, let's give it a value for the width and the height. It should be 4.375 inch. So make the circle this large. 4.375 inch.
For the width and of it?
For the circle. Fill it with blue. So when it is selected, activate the fill and go to swatch, give it a blue color. We are done with this step right now. And now we need to lock and hide this layer. So go to layer, lock it. How do you lock it? Click here, you will see a lock. When it's locked, nobody can edit it. And then let's hide it. If you click the eye is gone, then that layer is hide. Now let's go to background gradient layer. This layer here. We need to create another circle with a value of 4 inch. So click this thing again, press Option, Shift, drag. Again, there's a color here, so you need to click the none so that it will has no color. For value, we want 4 inch this time. This is in the background gradient circle again. This is on the background and the gradient circle. Well, this circle, hold on a little bit. Let me take a look. I see someone of you have. You do that? Yes. You do that, right? How about you? You do not need to color. I don't know. Okay, so are you doing that? You okay? Yeah. Okay, once you create this circle, when it is still selected, go to layer, and you can see which layer are we working on right now. The circle is on which layer? Can you tell that? Background gradient. Press Option. Drag this red square, move it to text and photos. You will see a plus sign here. Okay, now what happened? Did we move it to the text and the photo layer, or did we copy it to there? We copied over there. Yes, that's right. If you do not press Option, that means you move it over there. So we copied it to that layer. That means right now we have the circle on both layers, the background gradient and text and photos. Okay. What's that? Yes, you go back to the background gradient layer, select the circle, and then go to the layer panel, press Option, and then move that. What I did is that I go back to this layer, select this. You can't find it here. Can't find it here. Okay, so let me do it this way. We are on the when I go back to the background gradient layer, I can't find the circle. So okay, if we go back one step, I just go back to here, and then press Option, and then click here, move it, copy it to the text and the photo layer. That's what we did. So that way, even if you hide the text and the photo layer, you will still have a circle on the background gradient layer. Did you follow? I think you asked a question just now. Okay. And now, let's hide the text and the photo layer. Click this thing, hide it. Move down one layer to the background gradient layer. So we need to select it. And now we are working on this layer. And select the tap and the path. Select the tap on path, tall, and go to here. When you see the plus sign, you know that you are ready to create a tap on path. And now what we need to tap is season pass. So let's tap season pass.
I can't select my server.
You need to make sure which layer you are.
There you go, I got it.
Season pass. Yes. Season pass. Season pass. Once you tap it, we will need to give the season pass a Marriott Pro. So go to the tap face, tap Marriott. You see it already has Marriott Pro, and the tap family is board. So choose board. Tap size. The font size is 50 point. So put 50 point here. And that's how it should look like. Then drag the end bracket to here. That's the season pass. Select the season pass. Make sure the fill is no color, paper color for fill. So go to swatch, give it a paper color for the fill, but for the stroke, give it a blue. So it should look like this. And then we needed to go to here, go to tab, choose tap on pass options, and what we need to choose here is descender. So choose descender, and to align to top. So not center, but choose top. Sorry, that's actually not a descender. It's a ascender, I guess. Hold on, let me see clearly. Okay. Choose align to here is the center, and it should be ascender actually. So choose ascender. Go to tap on pass option. Then we need to track a little bit. For this tracking value, is supposed to be 100 point. Yes, so put 100 point here. There's overset text, which means there's not enough space. So adjust it and center it. Select it, press Shift Command C, center the text. Also make sure that the middle bar is here in the middle. I think I'm fine on this step. Let me take a look, see if you have a question or not. Are you okay? Ascender, right? Center, yes, that's okay. Ascender, you're using ascender. No. Ascender, not this one. And make sure this tracking is tracking here. Track. Select the paragraph. Oh, here, yes, tracking. Give it 1. Tracking is 100. And adjust it, make sure it's in the middle. Once we are done, let's move to another layer. Right now we are working on the background gradient layer. Once we are done, let's move to the text and the photo layer. And there's another circle here. So let's again choose tap on path and it's hidden. We needed to make it okay. Now it's workable. So what we need to tap here is May, September. How do you get what?
Where we type on top of the circle again. I'm just trying to type inside.
You just go to text and photo, and then select this that circle, and then tap on that circle. For this one, we need to give it the typeface is the same, so it's still Marriott Pro. Type style is bold. Font size for this one is 30. Similarly, the stroke is blue, so give the stroke a blue color, but give the fill a paper color. So it will look like this. And move it to the bottom. Point. Centralize it. It's too close to the circle, so we need to select the text. Open tab. Tap on path. Option. Make some adjustment again. This time we're going to choose descent. Here we're going to choose a bottom. Not bottom, still center. Okay, still center. And then we're going to give it a 60-point tracking. Okay, continue.
Season pass.
September. You should have two separate circles.
So you text the photos, and then go back and just text the photos there. I don't know why it's showing yours on there. See,
Yeah, mine is overlapped perfectly. Yours isn't overlapped. Yeah, so just work on this one. Excellent. That one is on the background, right? We can hide it
yeah, this one's, see, this one isn't.
hide it and then work on this one. Type the May and September. See, that's what
So
I'm
for
typing.
some reason, so yours is lined up. Is that why that has both? Whereas mine doesn't.
Because-
have the season has.
Because mine is overlapped perfectly. Yours, they're not overlapped.
It's not supposed to overlap.
It doesn't matter. Just keep working. Have it. What's your question? Maybe try it. No, you can't turn it off. We want to read it. If you turn it off, suddenly you will lose everything. If you want to read it.
Yeah, we're waiting forever.
You did. You choose December 1st. Tap. 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 The text colors fail should be different. Not here, right? Here, you catch up. Candice is a very good expert on this. Okay, once we have this done, let's make all the layers visible. So go to layers, make everything visible. It's not lined up very perfectly, so we want to go to here. In my case, I want to go to here. Background is locked. That's right. Now I can move it. This sounds perfect, I think. And then we can put the apple in the middle. Resize it a little bit. Press Shift again. Remember. I want to make a copy, leave a copy of this apple. So put this apple here. So far, this is apple here, September. And then we need to tap create a text frame. Tap a bitter apple. Game preserve. All type face should be Chaparral Pro. That's Chaparral Pro. Board. Bitter apple. Game preserved. And then give it a yellow color. For bitter apple, the font size is 34 point. For game preserve, the font size is 14 point. It's also all capital. Here is all capital, okay? Apply all capital to it. And then centralize it. Move it here. adjust it a little bit so that we have a more space here. Okay, now we are done for this one. So you can select everything, press Command G, and finish the button like this. I see your hands.
Not because like it was frozen.
Yes. Do you have questions? Video okay? Yeah, because they're from the lower way. Like they're on the.
That was supposed to be. Right. So not only for you,
It's not 60. 4371.
So this is the kind of stuff that I would literally spend hours. Yeah, like moving centimeter and millimeter at a time until I feel like.
You can the bios afterwards overlap.
If you hand me
How did you
something,
break it?
I have to put it all.
So you can give a space store.
Okay, look what happens now.
Hold on a minute.
No, I have that. I just don't have it.
I think it was little like baking pizza rolls.
As soon as I change the color,
Six, seven,
I have to go there.
there's 5 and 4.
You can use this way. See that. You can't figure out what that color is. Oh, I see. Hold on. Figure it out. Yes, fingers, not right. Okay. Yeah.
Sorry, it just clicked.
Yeah. That's why you design is interesting. Huh? Okay, are you guys okay? Yeah? Good, good.
Oh, I have a question. I don't know if my circle is too small. Is it supposed to have line up all the way? You see how like my circles aren't stretching all the way to the end?
Right, yeah.
So she should.
Which lane? Yeah, I also figured that.
I'm sorry.
Already.
Fern leaves. You can just sit here and do it like this and have the circle. And you can just put it, and then it needs to have small. Or that big.
Okay, this one is not really our pop quiz. Once you have this done, let's work on the pop quiz. The pop quiz will be very easy. Okay, before we talk about the pop quiz, let's talk about one more thing. Once you have a logo done, again, you want to group it so that you can use it the next time. You can create a library. Put this thing in library so that every time when you want to use it, you can pull it out from the library. How do you create a library? Go to File, New. Here you can see you can create a new document, a new book, a new folio. You can also create a new library. Let's call it just call it a library. Save it as a library. We want to save it on desktop. Okay. And save it. So we have a library here. When you go to the desktop, you can see the library. Right now, because it's a new library, nothing here. But you can drag this button, put it into the library. You just drag it. Drag it into the library. Double click here. It will give you a dialog box. You can call it button. Say OK. And there's a menu that you can manipulate the library. And once it's done, just move the library here. Later on, whenever you need to use the stuff in the library, you just point here. It will be shown here. And the stuff will still be in the library. You just borrow it from the library and put it here. Anytime you use it, you can just point out from the library.
No, I thought for some reason Apple wasn't showing up on the little image, but it's on it. It's just not on
You have two items, right?
Oh yeah, because
You can delete the
I
extra.
just closed my library. How do I get it open again if I need it?
Go to file open. Or maybe you can. Right, that's your library. Do you group it already? You didn't group it, right? You need to group it first. Press Command G. Yeah, make it a one thing. And then open, file, new, no, new, sorry, new library, yeah. Right. Choose a place that you want to save it. And then all your stuff into the library. Next time you point from the library, it will be showing the document. You can try it. Point from the library. Okay, now let's do the pop quiz. That's the logo.
Hold on, how did you want us to save it?
You want to save it?
Yeah.
You think the library, I'm sorry, I'm behind on that. The library is to save this. The library is to save this.
Yes, open the library. Did you open the library?
Yes.
You finished everything already? Did you group it? Okay. So
press top, say okay. Select here, and you just punch down to the lever. And see
To use later.
yeah, it's in the library right now. Anytime you use it, you point it out.
This is background language, just what we just made.
Okay, now let's look at the pop quiz. We just use the same page. Save some space, move it, save some space here. Okay, leave a space here. We need to create a triangle. So click the triangle tool. Click a triangle tool. No color here. For the no, sorry, it's not triangle. It's a rectangle. Clearly. For the width, it should be the width should be 1.3 inch. 1.3 inch. It's not 13 inch. For the head should be 0.75 inch. So that's how the rectangle looks like. And then let's create a circle. Press Shift, Option, drag a circle. Again, we don't need any color here. For the circle, we need to give it a value of 1.2. Here is 1.2 also. And then let's move the circle, make it overlap with the rectangle in this position, okay? Like this. Make sure the middle is on the upper edge of the rectangle. Make it look like this. Uh, 1.3, 0.7, 7, and 0.75. We don't need a color. None of them need color. And for the circle, the value is 0.2, 1.2 inch. It's supposed to be a perfect circle, so if you create it, you want to press it. Yours is not a perfect circle. Looks like a hat. Yeah. Press Shift and create a perfect circle. Okay, once you put the circle and the triangle this way, let's select both. We want to make those two things together. What command should we use? Do you guys know? Huh? Pathfinder add. So let's go to Object, Pathfinder, Add. Make those two things together. Now those two things are merged together create a new shape here. Select that shape. Select it, open stroke, give it a value of 6 point. And here, make sure it's a center. Align the stroke to center. Not outside, not inside. It's a center. Okay. For the type of the stroke, we want to choose this thin, thick. So it's this one. Thin, thick, yes. 6 point.
6 point, I'll do
Color of the stroke. Open sword, give it a color. The color should be DS63.
Pantone DS631C.
Yeah, over here. This is this one.
I have a question.
That's for the stroke, okay? So it's not really for the fill, so it's for the stroke. Question over there?
Oh, where?
I made mine with both this one and this one. Which one were you going to make it? The one that didn't have the lines in it, or the one that did? Like, were you supposed to use the frame? Either one.
But this one, color should not be the fill, the stroke.
Some of them.
That's paper, that's not math. Make sure paper and math. Yes.
I don't want to. The family has the
Six.
same.
Go to swatch. Not here. Go to swatch. You can find it? Yeah. The gap of the colors, I believe is blue. So give it, so open the stroke panel. Again, open the stroke panel. See, here is a gap color. Right now it's none. We need to give it a blue. And once you've done that, we want to give it a drop shadow. So open here the effects, drop shadow. That will give it a drop shadow, but we want to change the opacity, make it to 40%. And this is how the logo will look like. By the way, we need to give the fill of the logo a blue color. So give it a blue fill. So it will look like this. Give it a blue color.
Blue film? Oh my goodness.
Find the apple. Find this apple and press shift and rescale it. Make it smaller and put it here.
Is there any way to get the apple if you don't have it?
You can find the logo and ungroup it. Press Shift Command G. I believe you will ungroup it, and then you can pull the apple out. My apple is on different layer, and this thing is on the upper layer. So I need to move this thing to the same layer. Okay, so right now, if I put the apple here, you still can't see it, but maybe I can bring for front. Okay, now you will see the apple. Find the bitter apple text. I press the option and copy it. Make a copy for this one. But the font size this time is different. The bitter apple is 13 points. So for that one, put 13 over here. Game Preserve is 8 point.
What do you want us to type?
13 and 8. Put it here. And we seem to have a wonderful logo here. You can also group it, and then put it into your library. Once you are done, export this as a PDF, email it to me. This is the pop quiz for today. That's the logo. Again, we do not have a chapter project this week, but once we have an extra credit project, it's also 30 points. You've done the button and the logo. The rest of the extra credit project is actually a little bit of work. You just need to create several documents, put this thing on. It may take you 30 minutes to get it done. But it's your choice to do this extra credit project or not. Beyond that, the reflection paper is due by the end of this week. That's a 2 to 3 page paper. Specifically talk about a technique or several techniques that you lack very much. For instance, Pathfinder, paste into, or any other technique that you think will be very useful to talk about how it's useful for you in the paper. Okay, that's all we're going to talk about today. Thank you. Now let me look at if you have any question or
Your email?
email to me, yes.